Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to the 12 Days of Christmas. So, for today and the next 11 days, I will be posting Christmas layouts along with some friends. So, be sure to look down there below to see who all else are doing this. I am going to scrap that picture of my great niece, and I'm going to use snowflake dies for sure. I've got several there that I'm going to be using. And the collection is Simple Stories. I think it's Snow Days is what it's called. I got it in a warehouse box, and I think I got 3 sheets. And this one here, of course, it's wood grain. Oh, I loved it. And I started to put it with my wood grain so be easy access. And then I thought, well, I need to keep it with those other couple of sheets so that I could have something to put with it. And I'm not going to use much that's gone with it. I did use that piece behind the photo, and I'm going to fussy cut out of another piece, but I am using the other 2 sheets. I cut out those snowflakes and the candy canes, and I did layer the candy canes, and I used colors that were similar to what's in this collection. And then I put Wink Stella just now on all of them. And I thought it needed a little more snow, so I am putting white acrylic paint on the background, and I'm also using some gelatos, pink and aqua colors. And I'm adding the white to it also. So there's just going to be a hint of those colors. It's not going to be very much. And oh, I went ahead and threaded my buttons ahead of time because yeah, they're kind of tiny holes and it's going to take a while. So I just went ahead and done it. And the twine I'm using is an aqua color with some silver in it. And it's really a pretty color, but it does ravel a little bit. So I put glue on the tip edges of it so that it wouldn't go ahead and ravel on the ends once it got in my layout. Because, like I'm sure you all know, silver and gold thread ones ravel a whole lot more than the regular does. I used one of the dies there, a quick cuts die, and cut out some mittens out of one of the papers that looks like a sweater. I think it's the background of that polka dot one that I used behind the photo. But I also cut out partial ones so that I could have the cuff part on the mittens be a different color, and so they're a light gray. I used some Echo Park cardstock for that. And then there was a hat in the same strip. It's a quick cut strip, so it has 4 dies on each one. And I think it had a hat and a stocking or something on there also. And so I cut out a stocking doing the same thing. A stocking. I did cut out a stocking, but it'll be a while before you see it. It gets lost among everything else because it's kind of on the tiny side. But I cut out the stocking hat too. This little snowman, it's Avery L, I believe. I've had it a long time, but I'm pretty sure it's Avery L. And I am going to put the black behind the hat part and let it dry. Since those are little thin cuts, I was afraid that if I tried to cut it out while the glue was still wet, that it wouldn't cut out very well, and I wanted it to cut out pretty sharply around the edge of that instead of all raggedy. It has little eyes and a nose on the die, so you can use markers or you can mark the place for your eyes and your nose. But it also has little teeny tiny dies, so you can do the eyes, nose, and mouth with the little pieces from the tiny dies. And that's what I'm doing. I'm inking the scarf, and it's the same stocking paper that I'm using on the stockings and the hat. And it did not have a die cut for the band on the hat, but I decided I wanted one to match the scarf, so I just cut a strip and curved it a tiny bit, and I'm just going to lay it right there on top of the hat. I'm inking the edges barely, and not a whole lot, in the gray, just to give him a little more shape. I think it makes them look rounder if you ink the edges, so I was inking the edges for that reason. And I put little teeny tiny circles, dots around for his mouth and gave him a smile. That big snowflake there, I think that's the only one I have of that. I think it came with a couple other things, but since I put all my snowflakes together, I'm not sure what it came with. But it's really delicate, so I backed it in vellum, and then I put Wink of Stella over the whole thing. And since I backed it in vellum, I did back some of those little smaller snowflakes that's up there on top in the vellum also. And of course you do it the same way you do a cut file and glue it on there and then just cut around. I didn't do the part where you did the pencil. I just glued it on there and cut around them. And it took a while, so I did them off screen. I I used my Martha Stewart punches. One is the pine branch and one is the holly berry branch. And it is called holly berry, so it does have berries. And if you look over there to the left, you see some little tiny red thing. Well, that's a whole bunch of little berries. And I will be putting them on my layout. But I thought I'd wait and do them all at the same time and put them with my holly berry branches. I am doing one of the quick cuts dies. There's like 4 quick cut dies on one strip, and one of them is a little bitty gingerbread man, and I'm going to make 2 of them into gingerbread girls and one into a gingerbread man. How to tell them apart? I put a bow, my little super tiny bow, on the top of the head for the girls, and I put it on the neck for the boys like a bow tie. And I really had fun making the banner that goes across the top. Some of them have foam tape under them, some don't. You won't see me putting the foam tape on probably because I cut most of it out. But there is quite a few pieces with foam tape on there. And I'm just going to be tucking, and it won't look like everything is actually attached to the string. Not that I even know you'll be able to see the string by the time I'm done. But I am doing a lot of clustering on there. So I had a lot of fun doing that. And while I am doing that, I want to mention again that down there below are links to everybody else that are doing this collaboration for the 12 days. So you will get lots of inspiration for Christmas layouts and maybe a card or two, or maybe even some kind of decoration for the home. So there will be variety down there. It depends on what they want to do for that day. There are no prompts for the day, but there's going to be lots of inspiration. I think the only prompt was to have fun, and I did have fun. And the photo that I'm using is of my great niece, and she has a Christmas stocking on her foot. So I thought about doing dressed in holiday style because for sure she is dressed in holiday style with that stocking on there. But then I decided I wanted the word stocking in my title, and I knew just what font that I was going to use, and it's Heidi Swap, and it was by Quick Cuts, and I thought it looked really cute for the word stocking. So my total title is going to be, If the Stocking Fits, Wear It. Yeah, I really love doing Christmas layouts. I think it's because of all the dies that I have that are for Christmas and, well, for winter. But I wanted this to be used for Christmas. I think it actually is intended for winter, but since Christmas is in winter, not that we ever, hardly ever have snow on Christmas. I think I remember 1 year, and yeah, 1 year is all. If we get snow, it's generally not till January or February. Occasionally, we get it earlier, like year before last, we got it first in November, which was a shocker. But yeah, we usually don't have Christmas with snow. I'm putting sequins on there, and I made up the sequins mix out of several mixes with things that I thought would go with this layout and colors. I used some jelly bean soup, and I picked out the aqua color ones for that. And then there was some snowflakes in another one. Then there were some polymer clay ones that were in a snow one, and I was sure that they're supposed to be snowflakes, only it's kind of hard making polymer clay to look like a snowflake that tiny. So they kind of look like a flower, but they were intended for snowflakes. You have to look really close to see the little teeny tiny edges that come out like a snowflake does. And then also I had some candy that was that striped candy for like peppermint, only this is aqua colored, and I'm going to be using them too. I'm just scattering them around. I thought about just doing the random thing and dropping them on there, but I have found out over the years that if I just drop it on something that clustered, I didn't want to say the word busy, but that clustered, that they kind of get lost down in there and then you got to dig them out. So instead, I went ahead and placed them in different places and hoped it looked random. I'm adding just a little more to my cluster down there and pulling out the little red berries. And I mean, they're tiny. They punch out pretty tiny, but I'm going to put 3 with each of the branches, and I'm not going to lay them right on top of the holly leaves. I am going to scatter them around here and there just to give it a little more character. That's the word I like to use. Yeah, character. So it's not all the same on each one of them. I bet you all were thinking, she's never going to get to the title. But yeah, I'm at the title finally. And isn't that a cute font? I just love that Heidi Swap font. And the only one that is a capital letter is the S. But if you'll notice, the T is even bigger. So they're kind of on the wonky side. And I also use the Echo Park letter box dies so that I can make the smaller letters. So it is, if the stocking fits, wear it. And looking at it right now, I'm thinking I need to go over the top of that with some Wink Stella so it'll match the other stuff. And maybe on the snowman too. I wasn't even thinking about them when I did the rest. But yeah, it just adds just a little bit of glitter to each and every one of them. And I think I am getting close to getting done though. Oh, here I am doing the stocking. Now the stocking's kind of small to start with, so I cut it out in the knitted paper, and I'm also cut it out in the gray, and I fussy cut around the top of the stocking and the little toe and the heel also, and I inked them. I mean, I had to use the tweezers to ink the heel and the toe, but yeah, I thought it'd give it more, that'd make it a lot more fun if I did the heel and the toe and make it look kind of patchworky. And I'm just putting it right at the beginning where the stocking is. I had a plan to put it up there at the top with everything else, but I'm kind of glad I forgot it. Well, it was covered up with other stuff, and put it down there at the bottom with the stocking instead, so it shows up a lot better. Looking at this, I decided it needed a little bit more snow, so I am adding some more of the white, but I didn't add the other colors. And that's it. That's my layout. I had so much fun making it and sharing it with all of you. And yeah, it's I wanted the first one to have a banner to go across the top. I might have another because I do like making them, especially for Christmas. But yeah, there's my banner with a couple of my little gingerbreads, and you can see the hat and the mittens in there. And there's my little snowman with another one of the gingerbread gals. And there's that little candy beside the gingerbread, and yeah, the little punches. So yeah, this would have worked for Punched Out Thursday too. And yeah, there's my title. And don't y'all think it might be able to use just a little bit of Wink Stella? It's kind of hard to tell that I even got it on the rest though while you're looking at it in the photos. But it is on quite a bit of the rest. It's on all of the snowflakes and the snow canes too. Snow canes, candy canes. Can't even talk. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. And if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. If you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. But I hope you all have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.